Not by any stretch of the imagination. But I did once have a city that was like fucking ginormous. This was before I was archiving VODs diligently. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when you tell every single dwarf to haul something simultaneously or get a big structure. I think like just a swarm of things cleaving through an area is just satisfying to watch in general. Right. I'm gonna follow this person, and there's an ad break running. I'm gonna go use the washroom. I will be back in a moment. If anything horrible happens, scream loudly, but the game will probably pause, so it'll be fine. Thank you for tuning in and watching during this week of a little bit of variety. I'll be right back.
This is madness! Madness. Stone hobo.
Yeet. Alright. I made it back of beans. I mean, because we're kind of between Dwarf Fortress patches at the moment. And I'm a little bit annoyed after that last, how do I put it? I'm a little bit annoyed after that last fort kind of took the stream offline, so. Okay, so how many additional people will this give me? 64, yeah, we'll do it. Because that's going to give me a shit ton of food. But now we just need to survive this year. Thankfully, we'll be getting food soon. Like, very soon. Notice how these are producing, like, 250 now? Like, that's effectively triple what they were producing previously. But we still need to wait another 0.8 day before we have food. Okay, so these are just, it just climbs up, I guess, based on how many people you have actively working. That's interesting. So if I increase the number of people working, will that... Workload is low. Well, I'd rather workload be low and food output be high. Let's put that back down to 38. I don't actually care if the workload is low as long as we get lots of food. Your friend is trying to convince you to play The Division 2. Allegedly, The Division 3 was announced and I somehow completely forgot. So, I don't know, maybe your friend's onto something. What do I know? I mean, there's worse things you could play. They could be trying to convince you to play Destiny. I don't know. I don't really have anything against The Division necessarily, aside from it being a Ubisoft game. But, like, I don't know. I like Trackmania. That's a Ubisoft game, so can I really judge? A little bit of schlock is healthy sometimes. Speaking of, like, everybody just running over and clearing out everything. It's about to happen right here. Just going through all of the resources. Also, finally, we have a good supply of food. And this is gonna also just like immediately consume all of my cloth and all of my furniture. The reason we're gonna be bottlenecked on furniture now for a minute is because it's all just going directly into that. Now we just have to wait a year. Okay, you're selling stone, you're selling wood. Let's stop selling wood. And stop exporting stone. And stop importing fruit. Let's see if we survive the year. Your friend wants you to play the new Hightail because everyone is playing it. Is everyone playing it? Maybe I operate in the wrong world of everyone. Because, like, I can't say that I know anybody who, like, is playing Hightail. Like, the only people that I know who are playing Hightail are, like, in my chat, and there's only a few of them. But I think that might just be, like, a bit of a sign of who I interact with and play games around. I am kind of shocked at how much food I have at the moment. Let's go grab proper burial. That lets me grab markets. And then fine dining. Does anybody know what the fine dining or restaurants require? Could also start doing rural health. Work my way in that direction. The thing is, I got like 25 bonus stuff. I mean, actually, I could just do food. Just keep upgrading my farming. Although that doesn't seem to upgrade orchards. This does, though. Just put some points into orchards. It's like a 30% bonus to the orchards. Yeah, we'll just do that, I think. Sweet. How many more people want to move in? 21. Plenty of space. Not a bad little city so far. We're a little bit short on entertainment up here. Actually, we're short on wells. Feel free to shout if you see me super low on something that maybe I'm not noticing. And I will ignore you if I already have it or feel I don't need it. They really like having a graveyard, by the way. Like, graveyards are kind of expensive to build, but holy shit, they give a lot of really happy thoughts. Which is like I said earlier, I would not want to live near a graveyard. Mostly because it just feels like a massive waste of property to me, but I think they're kind of ugly. So now I need to get the respect meter up high enough. Which is actually kind of a bit of a challenge to do. This is probably way too fucking big. I would like to know why flowers require wood. I guess like flower beds, but I could copy this and just put it the other way. It's a lot of resources, but that'll improve morale pretty significantly. You know, I have a way that we could actually fit graveyards and like an activity that people enjoy, and I think it would attract both people who like having graveyards around, people who will need them soon, and also provide space that would be, you know, functional. We should just make graveyards into golf courses. You know? I think that would be a perfectly fitting solution. Jokes aside, though, actually, like, graveyards around churches is not the worst thing in the world. Because it's, like, practical. Has a use case. I am mostly joking, by the way, but... that would be funny as fuck. I mean, hey, you know? Just, like, triple it up, you know? Do like, a graveyard, golf course, old folks home. Just have, like, little headstones everywhere. Although I'm sure that would, like, upset many a people because, you know, you'd be sitting there just, like, at the grave and then just, like, conk, you just get conked in the head by a golf ball. But one of the reasons I'm, like, not happy about the existence of graveyards is I actually saw the bill for my grandmother's gravestone for the next 100 years. And the concept of leasing a gravestone is something that whenever I die, please just, like, throw me in the nearest incinerator and throw my ashes into the ocean. Like, don't fucking, just don't, you know? Just don't. These are rookie numbers. I mean, there's a small handful of people with higher numbers, but most people don't have super high streaks. So once they build this, I mean, my loyalty is already, like, at 100%. So there is that, but they're, like, services. Wells are currently going up because I built a bunch more wells. I never quite know exactly, like, how to satisfy wells. Does it just have, like, tons of them? Because they don't seem to need them. They just need them on, like, every street corner, basically. Zero wrongful deaths. Well, that's good. So, you know, this is what making the graveyard did to the religion score. Like, the religion satisfaction right now is just like, but, you know, like 4 out of 12. And now and it's just like, where was it at? You know, just chilling all down here, and then suddenly it's just like, boom, graveyards, +1. That's what I got out of building graveyard. I only made 1. It's got space for 63 people. I could actually just straight up copy and make 2 of them. Although maybe it would be better to put the other one, like, down here or something. Especially considering it doesn't use up all the food. Okay, so you're going to produce 156,000 fruit. And you're going to make significantly less than that. Okay, well, let's just, like, drop mushrooms down to nothing, increase fruit. Drop stone down quite a bit, increase fruit. This is just going to become a fruit shop, isn't it? You see its service area highlighted? Oh, I see. So I need to put, like, a well there, or, like, yeah, basically I need a well, like, right here. But, like, that kind of doesn't make much sense. Why? There's wells, like, right there, though. I guess there's, like, these not super well serviced areas, like, in the middle. Okay, I guess that makes sense. It would be really nice if you know, if I highlight this well, and I could close this while still having this highlighted, so I could actually zoom out and see all of the areas instead of like having like a third of the screen used up. It's been a thing since the beginning of time with this game for me, where it's like, man, I really wish that it used that screen real estate a little bit better. I actually have a good surplus of clothing. Let's export some clothing. Fetch at least 35% of our warehouses. There we go. Let's get some income. Yeah, it's a bit wonky. It's just clunky. I mean, it works. It gets the job done, but... Although, there might be an overlay. Nope, not really. Problem. What is problem with here? Right. I like the generic problem. Unavailable fabric. We're not making fabric fast enough. I think I should disable this. Look at you. What do I need for that upgrade? Need Weaver Revolution. Weaver Revolution. Weaver. Which needs basic refining and basic weaving. Great. Which means basic refining. This is why I find tech trees tedious, chat. I need this, 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 and this to get that. Great. Okay, fine. I need to make another lab, is what you're telling me, game. Because that's what I want. Where my lab? There, my lab. I don't think these produce much in the way of noise. So I'm just gonna plop those in there. Viva la Weaver. Yes. And extend to the dirt road. Although that's going to require a lot of furniture. Meanwhile, chat was all like, man, that's a whole lot of like carpenters you're gonna need, and I'm sitting here going like, oh, we'll power through that, don't worry. Oh shit, that's why I'm out of carpentry. It's because one of them's still making shields. Well, I feel dumb now. Well, at least I'm fixing that now. That'll be better once they start actually making furniture for me. So chat, what have you guys been playing? What's your between game when you're not playing the thing that everybody else is playing, or the thing that you think that you should be playing? Because I'm just very used to feeling like I should be playing Dwarf Fortress. And so when I stray away from that and trundle off into the great unknown, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm betraying somebody. Yet here I am, not playing dwarfs, playing this. What's your something else or something different game? Cut in astronauts? Sometimes you just gotta cut into that astronauts time. I really need to play Astronauts, but I think like I'm just waiting for 1.0 on Astronauts now. Like for a while there it was Space Haven. Man, I backed Space Haven on Kickstarter. And I also ceased to language for a second there. Let's just wait until we hit summer. So you've got 49 days until you get that harvest done. That's the issue there. Thankfully, these are all getting a decent harvest in. It's the hungry months. Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. In between game? That game's a lifestyle choice. Once you're playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, you just don't ever stop. Okay, so let's grab refining. 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 And I'm out. And then you are 58 days. Yeah, so it's basically like a several year lead time. You can also chop down the trees in orchards to just get a bunch of wood all at once if you are mean and evil. You just bring in more people. And now we have even less than 1 day's worth of no days worth of food. Let's just hunt. And if anybody dies, they'll be properly memorialized now. $16 days a year, so yeah, 3 years. I guess it would be 4 years now then. But when it does finally harvest, that'll be huge. I feel like I should just get rid of this mass grave. Days until clear, okay. Because we should move those over there. We've also got that food harvest incoming now. Whole bunch of meat all at once. And more food. Let's see what we're able to get. And considering I'm not exporting anything, or importing anything rather now, I don't think. Oh, no, I'm still importing fruit. I'm just turning that off. Okay, so now I'm not importing anything. We're just exporting clothes when I have a surplus. No work within radius. So wait, what? Where am I putting my clothing then? It's right there. Like, you reached that. Only 19 million to join me? Bum, 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 bum. I should make a guard post, shouldn't I? What about cotton fiber? Private parking? You never played the Grimlock games and you saw them both for, you forget, $6? Sounds about right. Does that studio still make games? Because I feel like that Grimrock came out and then, like, I never heard anything else out of them ever again. I think I just need more weavers. Help! If we don't pay this ransom, chances of our neighbor allows us for free passage through their lands or gets attacked themselves. Athuri has been praised by our dear Lord. I have been entrusted to convey this message here from a certain Gelt wretched who has come to visit. I quote, "Give me my stuff." Okay. You ugly, terrible person. I kind of like the bug with the fancy crown on. Or I'll come over there and make a hat out of your genitals. Well, I have the money. I'm not sure if I have the shields. And I have the meat. This game does have massive battles. You're a militia commander, but I tend to avoid them. This seems like extortion, yeah. Although the bug person with the crown is kind of adorable. I have an in-game day to decide, so like no time. I don't know, I think like the only real option there is to just be like, no, fuck off, good luck, bud. This is going to create noise. Smart remove. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I mean, okay, hold on. What are my options here? Soldiering, I could make a training ground. And I could make archeries. I am kinda short. I do have all the things that they need. I could just pay them off and then start building up an army. Because I do want to take over them anyway. Because, like, I'm looking at where they are. Like, they've got an army of 76 sitting right there. Porker! Thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Appreciate ya. What are those wiggly bits? Flowers? Probably. It's either flowers or water. Yeah, probably flowers. This bandit is currently raiding me. So how the heck do I get that? I'm gonna pay up for the moment. And I will have an army for the next time they arrive. All right, let's see what I can do, what my options are at the moment. Training ground. It's just furniture. Once done. Oopsies. Here I am making weird shaped buildings again. These look a little odd. I thought I had the game paused, but we're in an ad break, so that's my bad. Hollow eclipses look weird. Yeah, let's just stick to these guys. A little bit easier to predict shape and size-wise. Much better. So now I can shrink you. I mean, it's an accurate representation of the things I dislike about this game. It's like, I just want to be a farming trading group, but there's a bunch of bugs next to me that are like going to work together with raiders and bandits to extort me. Such is my existence. You know? Although I do have like 170 spare bodies right now to, you know, train, so I guess in a way we are prepared for it. We'll just do that. I can expand that easily. Is there refining that I need for that or something else? Soldiering, which just increases the abilities of my training ground, guard post. I guess I could just import weapons. I could just import stuff. Just buy it. Artillery. I've never once seen any of that stuff. Because, like, if I go to the carpenter's shop, like, I could make spears, but I need metal for that. And I would need makeshift weapons for that. So, I think I import some metal. I just don't have anywhere to put it. So I need somewhere to put the metal. So I can get rid of that. Get rid of gems, get rid of herbs, get rid of opium. And throw in some... The thing is, and chat's gonna go lol at this, but there's literally just like a surface ore farm like right here. That's on the other side. It's all the way over there. I'll just pay somebody to bring it to me. At least at the moment, I would very much prefer to just pay somebody to bring it to me. And we're gonna make some leather armor. Because I got 529 leather, so might as well make some leather armor. Room is poorly insulated? Excuse me? Hold on. So just straight up holes in these? How long has that been there? Well, I feel dumb. It's like, how long have these been poorly insulated? Probably forever. Welp. I feel entirely stupid. Then you, let's lower down cloth. Just go there. Let's also get rid of this and get rid of that. And allow shields. Did I forget walls? Was I supposed to remember walls? I didn't realize that was in the, like, paperwork that I signed when I took this job. Oh, you mean like, you mean like walls in that building, yes, apparently. Apparently I did. Unbeknownst to me, turns out. Too many entrances? I don't know. Well, it's been fixed now. No, apparently, I think it was just when I rebuilt this building, because I repurposed this building from a carpenter into a different kind of building. But it's fine. We're sorting it out now. I now employ over 50 weavers. Shock emoji. Well, I should have shit tons of cloth now. So you guys just just take all the cloth. That's fine. Unlike furniture. Furniture I always have a hard time keeping up with. But, like, other things I tend to be better at. I quite like the way this city is starting to shape up. I think it's nice looking. It's pleasant. All right, I want to say tax collection is a really good way to just suddenly have income, so I'm actually just going to go for tax collection. I want to say tax collection is a really good way to suddenly have income, says the guy playing the game about building a city. Oh, I see. I don't quite have enough innovation. And tax collection's an overworld thing, if I'm not mistaken. Not that I remember how to interact with any of this. Okay, I want to say I have to click on, like, the region. Yep. I don't actually know how that works. Tax plus 0. Don't know. It's just vassals? Oh, really? Okay, well, wasted points then. I want to say that used to be a thing where you could go to the overworld and then just assign, like, basically a tariff rate for anything that moves through your region, but maybe I'm misremembering. Or I'm remembering an older version. You can refund it. Yeah. It's a bummer. I don't know. I fucking hate this tech tree. I think this tech tree is hot garbage. The worst part about this game is this tech tree. It's just clunky and hard to search through. Where the fuck was that even? It's up here. How do I refund it? What's... Do you wish to forget that? Yes. Waste of oxygen. That, on the other hand, can be useful. Yep. I know. Eric. I know. Annoyed. Stupid fucking video game. Developers should please fix. Make your game not dumb. And exactly the way my brain thinks it should work. Not the way it works, but the way my brain thinks it should work. Then game won't be dumb. Till then, game dumb. And I'm being a petty piece of shit. I'm not going to pretend that I don't know that. Let's bring in more people and have no food, because who wants food? How long until you good? 36 days. I'm not actually mad at it. I'm just mad at it, okay? Don't think about it too hard. If you think about it too hard, then it'll start to make sense. They call it the user experience, not the developer experience. McConnell, have you ever played Cogmind? Because that is the most... Like, the developers fixed it, okay? So this is no longer an issue, so I feel okay, like, bitching about this now. That game, for the longest time, was the most... This game is made by a developer with an extremely high-resolution monitor, and they have very, very, very good eyesight. Game I've maybe ever played. Visuous, what up? It's been like 1,000 years. How have you been? I need another warehouse. But, mods, can I get a shout out for the Raiders? RimWorld? Does this... Do you have 600 plus people in RimWorld? No, this is a city builder. This has more in common with, like Anno or, I don't know, Pharaoh than RimWorld. It's like an empire builder slash city builder. It's like Factorio if it was a city builder, sort of. Because a lot of the game is, like, figuring out inputs and outputs and keeping your population happy, which I'm only trying to keep one race happy right now, and that's already a lot. Speaking of... We need wells up there. Wells in this area. So if RimWorld is a large-scale empire builder, then yeah, it's exactly the same. But otherwise, no, it's nothing alike. Probably also need more toilets. But when do you not need more toilets? It's a city. And you, please go back to making clothing. Because we weren't making armor. Abilities, where's that? There's the military. Army! They are 0.9% armed. Righto. Well, we have shields at least. Shield and armor we have. Weapon we do not. Speaking of weapon, do I has metal? Did I actually manage to import any? No, I did not. I didn't have anywhere to put it, probably. I thought I made somewhere to put it. But I guess I didn't. That's a shame. Considering I'm broke fucking shitless. But yeah, no, this is Songs of Six. It's a large-scale city builder that... Oh, I see. I'm exporting it. I'm dumb. I want to import that, not export that. This is a large-scale city builder about being a maniacal overlord and enslaving everybody. It's about very, very, very large-scale populations. It has some light total war combat, an empire builder, and it's a city builder primarily. So it kind of... The only thing it really has in common with games like RimWorld, which is everybody's immediate like jump to conclusion thing it looks like, is it has a similar building style. Like constructing it is similar, but actually playing this game could not be more different. It's a very different kind of game. There aren't many recent city builder references. I literally played a brand new city builder that released this morning or yesterday morning. I think there's a lot of city builders. I think that like just not a lot of people play city builders. But no, this is very much like Anno, right? I mean, Anno is like a AAA style of game, and this is actually has a lot in common with Anno, in that it's about building production chains and like macro managing a large populace instead of micromanaging a small populace. Anno is garbage in comparison. I'm not saying I like Anno. Well, I like 1404 or Dawn of Discovery if you live in the West, but if you want to try this game, the demo is the full game. So it's just 6 months to a year behind in development generally. So if you want to try this game, or it looks interesting to you, just go download the demo, because it quite literally is the game. It's just a slightly older build, which in some cases, depending on what build it is, might actually be better. Yeah, it's one developer working on this, and like he has some help, but it's mostly just one dude. And so development's like shockingly quick, all things considered. And when I say that there's like an empire builder, like, this is what I currently have access to. I want to murder my neighbors, which are these ugly bugs, and I would like to patch them out. But they do have 76 soldiers sitting right there. And if I look at them funny, they might invoke the name of Fallout. And then I've got this thing, which I would like to take over. Because if I take over that, then I have access to trade with these guys, and these guys without having to go through their fucking bullshit. So, yeah. Developer is a cool guy, but cool guy was a murderer. He killed several people. Sorry, that's a very specific series of YouTube videos that one existed, and then there was a sequel where cool guy killed a bunch of people, and then I don't think they ever made a third one. I think it just ended after the two. The bugs don't seem to be super interested in selling me metal. I will go make and refine my own if you force me. Actually, I don't even need to do that. And they call it a mine. A mine! Don't mind if I do. I'm gonna have to put a bunch of torches in here for these poor blokes. This poor bastard's gonna hate this shit, but the things that we do when we get threatened. I should really, like, actually increase my furniture efficiency, because my furniture supply is, like, fucking garbage. Alright, send it. Also, I'm out of food again, so, you know, things are Gucci. Who needs food? It's the middle of winter. I have to go murder every single piece of livestock on the map again. Oh, I'm out of wood. That's the problem. Clear. It's fine. Don't look directly at the forests that I'm murdering, you forest-loving orcs. But if you're on your way out, we'll see you later. Thank you very much for the raid, by the way. Seriously, enjoy your shower. And thanks for sending your people over here. On the day when I do something different. It means a lot. I did interview the developer. You hope Bob is in my army? No, so my king's name is Klondike Bar. And my city is named What Would You Do for a... So Klondike Bar might be, but Bob, no. Bob doesn't exist in this universe. All hail King Bob. Let's also hunt again. Cause I'm out of food. Yeah, doodly doo. I feel like most of the deaths we've had have been to... Man, look at all of that fucking coal and gems. I feel like if... Like, I almost feel like I should bring in some dwarves. Although I feel like they don't like orcs very much. Just to run my mines. Like, you can just live up there, it's fine. You'll never see us. I don't listen to not in-game music. I only listen to the game's in-game music. And if I don't like the game's in-game music, you want to know a secret? I mute it and set up my audio routing so I can listen to my own and you don't hear it. Because I don't like getting content ID'd. It used to happen a lot. No, it doesn't. Our city is impressive enough to attract a tourist. I can't wait for them to leave me a 1-star Yelp review. Although, honestly, I can't remember the last time I turned off the music for... Actually, I do. The last time I set my own music on and listened to that instead was Megabonk. I like how this is the training animation. It's just like them spinning like office chairs in circles. It's like brrr. Want to put my tender face in a blender, I guess. Yeah, the music in this game is very like Witcher. 30 more days, only 2 more years until my orchards kick into a gear. I don't know about a high gear, but a gear. I'll make another one of these. It's gonna take a bit because they're gonna need to catch back up on furniture. But I digress. Where's carpentry? It's literally just more of the basic refining, eh? Crude crafting, fine goods, does what? Such a grind, man. Thankfully, I can just turn the game on too fast speed. Also, we're out of food, by the way. If you're wondering why people are getting upset with me, we're out of food. Completely out of food. Thankfully, in 36 days, and there's 16 days in a year, 29 days, we'll have more food than I know what to do with. I can't wait for that to never actually happen. And I got a bunch of people starving to death. Okay, don't put the game on stupid fast. It doesn't actually help. Pro tip, don't do that. Okay, because they're obviously not going to import any of this. I'm just going to go back to importing stuff that I actually can import and afford to import. So that we don't all die. Yeah, thanks, game. Security low. Our stockades are poorly staffed because everybody's dying. Damn. Lovely. Foodless behavior? Well, I mean, if you're so foodless, then... Where's the pause button? Pretty sure there's just a pause button somewhere that I'm not seeing. .8 days until food arriveth. Well, okay. Technically, I should be like netting out positive per year on food, and I refuse to believe this. So I need them to purchase this stuff, and I need my money to go up. Mild weather. Lovely. Weather has been unusually pleasant for some time. Trade tolls have decreased. Awesome. Can you give me some fruit then? or don't. Okay, let's just hunt stuff then. But I keep like completely clear cutting, like clear hunting, like killing all of the huntable food on the map just repeatedly. Everybody's just leaving. It's fine. We can pick back up. We can survive! We just need food. Oh, hey, we just got a bunch of food and they ate it all immediately. Prisoner escaped. I had a prisoner? Oh, that's wild. Oh no, anyway. Problem solved itself? I'm a powerful wizard, appreciate it. Don't tell them that I also have wizard hair. I actually cut my hair, believe it or not. I took like that much off of it not too long ago. You don't need to buy this game in Ander, it's free. Dead ends? Yeah. Well, also evening it out, because I trim my dead ends periodically, and then, I don't know, maybe every other year I trim like that much off. Just to even out the dead ends that I've been trimming off. They keep on like gathering all of the food, and then immediately we just die. Okay, so now is when we're about to start getting fucked. Just straight up due to lack of people. It's like I'm already exporting clothing. Also exporting cotton. Trying to import like fruits, but see if I can save this. Not easily. And we'll do... Let's see what I can do here. Let's see what I can do. There we go. Now I have to wait for them to physically move it, but that should keep us alive. We are orcs. So why would I be zapping the orcs? I need them to not move out like they are right now. That would be bad. I'm just going to... Thanks, game. I really hate it when the game starts telling me the thing that I'm very well aware of. It's like, thanks, game. I know. Good news is, we do have a big old pile of food now. So the amount of starved should go down. Now we just need to make it through the season. We expanded too quickly. We'll survive this. It's just going to be a bit of a struggle for a minute. Just a bit of a struggle for a while. Because once these are ready, which will be in a day and a half, we'll be okay. Let's see if I can increase farm output. Can't currently because I don't have 9 innovation. I mean, I haven't put that much time into this game in the grand scheme of things in Andor. I only have about 150 hours in it. Although I don't know how much time I put into the original itch.io demo when that released ages ago. Well, we are harvesting veggies. So food should start to unfuck itself now. So that part's good. I should really just make some hunters. Hunters leave the map. So because we're actually so close to up here, I could just plop a nice size hunter up here. And that would just periodically acquire food for us. I'm gonna drop you down there and you down. Oh, I see what happened. This happened. Because I need extra odd jobbers up and around her. But I don't, under any circumstance, want to lose my orchard workers. Because this is what's going to feed us next year and the year after, maybe. Maybe. Okay, well, I guess now we just don't let people back in. We just let things truck along for a year. Because now we got the fruit incoming. So now it's just a matter of moving it from the fruit farms to the warehouses, and then we have a supply. Then we're good. Hiya. Okay, so we've survived. That was a decidedly tough year. There is a crime system in this game. I had several criminals actually escape. Up here is the number of criminals you currently have and the average, the average rate of crime that is committed and all that. I don't have guards yet because we're not that far in. But I do have a stockade set up here, and I should make a guard post at some point sooner than later. I'm also going to go Thanks, game. Please stop telling me that. You're not helping. Nobody is more aware of this than me. I can bring in extra workers. Gods have forsaken us, and the rains have stopped. Oh, yay. Now we got a drought. As if things weren't fucked already. Now I got a drought. That's exactly what I need. I'll just let people in. I'm still importing food. I think I just need more haulers. Do I still have to designate exactly how haulers work? Let's look at that system. You forget a lot of the basics. Oh yeah, me too. And this has been my first time really diving into this game in over a year. You should fetch that. Well, that works. That's nice. You're just gonna fetch fruit. I didn't think that farms would create so much noise, but yet here we are. I'm amazed that you have time to video game, period, in Ander. I know I've told you this before, but genuinely, I'm impressed by you every day. Every day that I see you, anyway. Maybe not every day. Just the days that I see you. Because it reminds me to be impressed. All right, so things are getting back into the swing of thing. Into the key of, oh fuck! I am actually truly a little bit annoyed that they were never able to. Unavailable livestock. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna slaughter all of these. I'm just gonna replace this with something else because it's just not providing any real benefit. Just give me the meat like Nowzers. What's the actual moisture levels here? That's actually pretty good. So let's slow down speed here. Let's make that into a veggie farm. I'm currently importing fruit. I'll also import veggies. Oh, we did actually import metal. Well, that's nifty. Can swap this out later, but for right now, this is just going to be... Bring metal right there. So I require one shipment of a monomarth. Which is currently not down there anymore. So it did get moved somewhere. Also need to get the barracks is up and running again. Oh, looks like importing vegetables is faster, so that's good. I guess that was good news, if nothing else. Still exporting clothing, which, you know, that's fine. I mean, we still have a surplus of clothing somehow, which is kind of a miraculous situation, actually. 25 more days. Just 25 more days. Okay, so let's go up here. Something about these orcs, for those of you who came in from the raid or haven't been here as long, they don't like square buildings. So they get kind of annoyed if buildings are square. They're also vegetarian, so they prefer a varied diet. So we do our best to account for that. Elfie, thanks for the raid. Welcome, raiders and Elvies. We're playing orcs. It is fine. We almost all died of starvation because I've put way too much time and effort into trying to make a very large orchard. But if the orchard runs out of workers, then all of my hopes and dreams for having a very large orchard collapse, and then I cry. I'm actually going to fire a lot of the actors, is what I'm going to do for the stages, so then I've got extra hands. So yeah, that's the current situation. $620 just to 490 piggies? It's, you know, that's like not as bad as the Black Death. Like, it could have been significantly worse. And now I have a supply of meat and leather, so, you know, I could also move one of my only, actually, not one of my, I can also move my tailor back to making leather clothing for a bit. So we can get more cloth. Also, I need to check something. Produced this year, 62 spear. Okay, let's set you back to furniture. Or maybe more shield. Nah, furniture. But Tommy, thank you very much for the beers. But what were you up to today, Alfie? What were you playing? Trash goblin scrubbing? Gotcha. A little game about being a goblin who collects trash, right? One more year, and then a large amount of food supply will suddenly be here. We're just going to leave the game on maximum speed, me thunk. Although now we're out of food again. Okay, we are still consuming most of the food, but good news is we do actually have another supply of food now. We're all the way up into summer. You need 24 days, you need 12. I'm just waiting for this to hit 0. And then my life, hopefully, gets less terrible, but I can't guarantee it. We're getting close to the harvest season for this year, which means suddenly food supply should skyrocket momentarily. In fact, it's trying to. It's trying to as best it can. There it goes. Food supply skyrockets. 6 more days. Four more days until these trees become actual trees. Oh, great. We're getting extreme temperatures. Temperatures is rising. For the end of the season. And I still have no food. In case you were wondering, I still have no food. I'm actually like a little bit amazed as to how this has happened. Actually a little bit amazed as to how like much I've just completely managed to run out of food entirely. This is kind of incredible. I need a higher value export, I think. Let's go back to exporting furniture. And cloth. Seems easier than Dwarf Fortress Tree Farms. Dwarf Fortress Tree Farms, you find an area with a lot of trees and click and drag, and if you have small brain, you click on the don't use step stools button. What do you mean? There is like no steps for Dwarf Fortress Tree Farms. Unless there is no trees on your map. There literally is no steps to Dwarf Fortress Tree Farms. It's literally like one step. I will say this. These have almost killed me 3 times. Dwarf Fortress Tree Farms, 1, are not like something that dwarves do. They just grow naturally on the surface. And 2, they take 4 to 6 years, depending on the tree type. So yeah, it would take years. This has taken... So a year in this game is 16 days. I planted these... like 5 years ago? At least they don't climb trees and get stuck. That you're aware of. How do you know? Have you ever seen one? Also, look at this. We're getting all this food delivered. Lovely. All 130 of it. Now is our chance to maybe not die. Same with this. When I'm no longer reliant... Also, they're Cretonians, not Sixians, by the way. Why did you almost die from a tree? Chat, explain to Emily.lgbt in chat why we almost died multiple times and why we lost hundreds of people. Please? I think you can do this. This will be on the test at the end of the week. It's like my only running joke. I should get some walking jokes. Because I'm getting tired of all this running. Yeah, all I can really do right now is wait. Sleeping joke, true. A napping joke would be nice. This game slaps me in the face, specifically. Ballpark Franks in YouTube chat. Some biking jokes? Can we get some less exhausting jokes? I'm into this sleeping joke. Maybe a napping joke. No, literally, like, food supply issues. Like, population increased faster than I could feed people is why we almost died. So why did I almost die? Because you have to use up food supply in order to make a tree. And I'm not entirely sure what happened, but something broke somewhere in one of my production chains. I ran out of something, and then suddenly we just had no food. And then I went from 600 something population down to 430. And then if I don't have enough population to run these, then the trees die. And if the trees die, then I have to start over. So like right now it's got 17 days left before it'll start producing. This one's got 7 days left before it starts producing. I would have gone back to like 70. So that's why. Like literally food production issues. And all I'm trying to do is make some ore mines so I can start like disassembling my neighbors' bodies. Because they keep threatening me. And the game's like, you know, making it very cold. But thankfully, we're almost through the winter. And food supplies went up through the winter because I'm selling my neighbors who I'm planning to murder stuff which is making them richer. It's going to make them less easy to murder. But thankfully, in 6 days, and 7 days, and 7 days, in 7 days, we'll get a ton of food. And then we can get back to our former? Not really former. Our glory that we had a year and a half ago. In game. Okay, well, no matter how many deaths we just had, it seems like most of my graves are still empty, so that's good. Basically what I'm trying to say is in Dwarf Fortress, you just let a tree appear and a dragon could fucking burn it down. You just have to remember to not cut it down and it will eventually turn into a tree, assuming you don't put a bunch of cows on it that crush it. In this, like, if I don't have enough, like, production capacity, we run out and then things collapse. Where's my tailors? You are using the wrong material, sir. There we go. I was trying to use up the leather that I built up. I should just sell the leather, actually. So swap from you to... Because currently I have, like, no use for leather. Okay, so I've got 6 days worth of food. 4 days until you harvest. So in 3 days... Thanks for the late raid, Swordfish. 2 days. Hey, chat. Name the tree farm Emily. There you go. 1 days. Chat, I need a big... I don't know. I don't have a fruit emoji, so, like, whatever you would think of as a fruit emoji. Because we're now getting a harvest from this. Hopefully, we are on the up climb from here going forward. Because I'm getting 70 fruit per day for my farms, but an additional 160 my orchards. Thanks, mods. Elfie, I like to think you shutted yourself out. That's probably what's happening, right? So. I can bring in 78 additional orcs. Send it! Let's see how many days of food that cuts me down to. Actually, still quite a few. Turn on the military post again. Number 1. Military post number 2. Or the training grounds, anyway. And I'm going to stop importing fruit outside of concerning situations, and I'm going to build another hunter. Rice wine like wine, but it's more like beer? What is rice? Oh, yeah, I mean, rice wine is just kind of its own thing. I mean, maybe, like, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of its own thing. All right. I'd swear that I put a storage facility over here. Let's increase your number of workers. Look at all of that fruit. Although the only stuff that the game is aware that I have is the stuff that goes into the storage. So if it doesn't ever end up in storage, I might as well not have it. And then that's done. Okay, now I need to find that other screen. So I've got, okay, that's not what I want. Disband, yep. You, edit. I have spears though. Is this for specific types of weapons? I don't know, I'm just clicking buttons. Oh, I see, that's different banners, but like, I don't know. I'll fiddle with that later. Good news is we have 8 days worth of food. Making a very old world in DF right now? What's very old? How many years? One of the overdull mechanics of this world? Don't worry about it too much. I'm sure it's on the back of a giant turtle or something. This is the sort of game where it would be something like that. Or the sort of world where it would be something like that. Like actually be completely wild and out there and relatively illogical in comparison to our sense of reality. Oh wow, that is pretty old. There was somebody in my chat for a while there who was trying to make a 40,000-year-old world, but that was on a much older version of the game, and he never actually managed it. It kept crashing after like a day and a half of like running. Which to me just seems like a horrible waste of time, but... what do I really know? All right. Numbers is going up. Numbers is getting better. I actually have enough people now that I can hire delivery men, for fuck's sake. Now it's time for me to check the fun numbers. History repeats. What, the world ends? I mean, eventually an asteroid's gonna hit it, you know? Oh, hey, chat, you want to know some good news? I'm $2 off of the daily minimum. So that's cool. Ends at a funny number? That's not one funny number, that's two funny numbers. Actually, it's a chill number and a funny number. Only one of those numbers is the funny number. Thanks for the $10, Letterin. It's very kind of you. Hey, chat, can I get a round of beers because we hit the daily minimum?
Cheered. X1000.
Appreciate you guys. On most days we wouldn't make it, but apparently there's actually kind of a lot of resubs today, so did okay. Let her end with the save. I think I would have made it with ad revenue eventually, most likely. I mean, that's only if I end my stream in 30 minutes, though, strong, but that's fine. I've said for a while, like, I'm totally fine doing like 8 to 10 hour days in this job purely because I don't have a commute. If I had a commute, it would be a bit more of a iffy thing, but because I don't commute, it's fine. It's whatever. How many more people can I bring in? Just one right now? So this one has been done and is now producing. We're about to get a second orchard. So this one will produce 1,020, 250 fruit per year. This one is already producing 1,560 fruit per year. The view count skyrockets when ads are playing because two things happen. Thing number one, people aren't counted if you have ad block running because Twitch isn't making money from it, and because advertisers need to know what the concurrent view count is when an ad is running, it stops counting people who are ad blocking. The second thing is some people refresh when they see an ad, and then it takes about 30 seconds to a minute for Twitch to catch back up. So the view count will skyrocket literally every time there's an ad anywhere on Twitch, purely because people refresh and then they count as 2 for a minute. And because if you're using ad block, you don't count during those periods because advertisers want to know the number. That's it. It's actually pretty simple. Also, do every streamer on planet Earth a favor and don't comment on the view count skyrocketing unless there's like a raid or something. It's not generally very uplifting or helpful discussion. I mean, not really. It's the only people who play games with viewer counts are shitty people who try to view bot and cheat the system. Twitch is just trying to make it work for their business model and, you know, the platform as a whole. I generally am on Twitch's side when it comes to the view count stuff. And I think when people get weird about it, it's just pointless. Waste of energy. Doesn't really matter. What matters is how many people are actually in the chat. What the number says is arbitrary and doesn't matter unless you care about sponsorships, which I don't. So it's a bit moot for me to care, to be honest. What you pushing over there? There we go. Population going back up's helping a lot. Let's make some stages. Actually, what I could do... I only have 2 innovation. I need 5 innovation. Good news is, I have fuckloads of food. Got 10 whole days worth of food. I just don't have enough workers right now. I'm about to have less, but that's okay. I can actually take them from here. Because I don't need as much meat production, I mostly just need additional nerds. And here we go, additional nerds. Because of all that food getting harvested. So we're finishing winter now. Heading into year 10 with 8 days worth of food. Heading into year 9, we had 0 days worth of food. Year 8, actually, we had 0 days worth of food. 10 days, so a year is 16 days in this game. This is a very different game to DF. Like, forget everything you know about DF when like trying to process information in this game and just take it at face value. Because this game does almost everything different from DF. Like, it's not even worth worrying or, like, contemplating or considering. Because of how categorically different these two games are. Placing guard posts. Now we're down to 6 days worth of food because I just let a bunch more people in. Like 100 people in fact. But we still have 51 free houses. Also gonna go over to here. We go Eclipse. Just give us a nice large fruit farm. Let's not do Eclipse. Let's do this one. I might just go back to making circles manually. That's a little bit shitty, actually. Because I need, like, primarily along this beach. Not up there, because the second I go up there, I lose all of the moisture. And thus all the fertility. There we go, that'll be better. I will say the thing that the developer said to me when I spoke with him in an interview about 5 years ago, probably now, Emily. He'd never heard of Dwarf Fortress until people told him his game was inspired by it. Now it is in a, what's it called? Bundle on Steam. You can buy this and Dwarf Fortress. But, like, no. This has, like, nothing to do with Dwarf Fortress. No, this game's chief inspirations were Myth, which 12 people played. Pharaoh and like the Impression City Builders, which anybody under the age, anybody born after 2001 probably never played. And Total War. I think the truly impressive thing to me about this game, Shady Necromancer, is that it runs in Java. And it had, and I told this story twice so far today, but it had the most memorable bug I have ever seen in a video game related to streaming. It had a bug where if you would move if you moved the throne or started a game, OBS would crash. I don't know why or how it was interacting or for what reason, but it would. I mean, the thing that you know is the thing that you're the best at optimizing, and the developer of this game is a Java developer. So, you know, he knows it. He knows how to optimize it. Although there isn't really a lot going on physics-wise or, like, things that are super... Like, it's just... this game is, like, a lighter Factorio in the way it runs. It's pretty sleek, actually. I don't think I've ever seen a slowdown in this game. Outside of maybe the first version I ever played. Holy shit. Well, they want to send more people. I think I'm going to get rid of this one division and just go for 150 soldiers. Let's bring in all these people, crank the numbers up. That puts us up to 32, and then I can go all the way the fuck up to here and start working on this again. Oh, no, I want to Active. Actually, I think I already did. Yeah, I did. Just reset that. I think I have all the stuff for it too. I mean, what does it need? 125 furniture and 150 stone. Easy enough. Although I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. This is going to be for... Well, this one's going to be empty, but this one's just going to be for the ore up there. We may need to recruit some dwarves for this. This makes you feel like playing Anno in Factorio. I mean, Anno is a bit more strict of a production line game than this. Like, this is a production line game, but I feel like it's a little bit more loose. I do think that Pharaoh is a better comparison. But that's just because I played more Pharaoh than Anno. Like, I played 2205 and kind of hated it. I played 1404 and kind of liked it. I played, not the most recent one, but the one right before that one, and also kind of liked it. How many more people is that? 18? It's not too good. Actually, how often are these orchards producing? It's every 14 more days, 4 more days on this one. So is it every other year? I guess it's every other year. Could also make a bakery and produce a bit of food that way. But I think that eats coal. Let's just focus on this. What am I importing at the moment? Export, import, and import. Bread's expensive. I'm gonna set you back to exporting grain. We'll just export grain. It's just like having to, oops, no, not that. Having to set up another production chain for one type of food is just kind of a bit much at the moment. Okay, so good news is we're in the middle of summer, which means it's almost harvesting season. What are we doing up here? Knowledge is good, innovation is terrible. I really wish it was split into 2 different trees. It'd be really nice. Because, like, I've got knowledge built up, I just don't have innovation. Locking this tech will result in more workers in the affected industries. Well, that, okay. You know what, actually, I'm gonna do work safety. That's something I can spend points on. It'll just minimize injuries if there's an accident. Bundled with the game, Java 21 from 2023, the current old Java. I mean, we also, like, as Dwarf Fortress players, assuming you're a Dwarf Fortress player in the chat, we can't really make fun of this game for using Java. Dwarf Fortress was on SDL 1 until 2 days after SDL 2 officially stopped getting updates, and then they moved to SDL 2. So, like, I don't know if we can really poke fun at that. I'm just saying. Like, I don't think in good faith we can poke fun at that. Just kind of filling in the edges. With more fruit farms. Don't want to remove too much water because that will actually impact the ground moisture. Fuck it, we'll bring in 34. So 3 days until you produce food. And I can also go up to you, re-employ you, start bringing in more meat. And the other thing I can do is I can let them have more clothing, because I've got 788 clothing built up at the moment, which is kind of a lot, actually. I can also let them have nicer furniture supplies. Which will consume the supplies that I have, but it'll make them happier, make them more satisfied. Also, we finally caught up to all of the housing that I had, which is actually kind of nuts. Enjoy your lurking, Emily. Okay, let's copy you. Yeah, people also want to work and live in similar areas. So if you put like their housing too far away from where they live, they just will move out, which is kind of a pain, actually. I wish they wouldn't do that, but they do. So if you have an area that's just like completely abandoned, it's like there's no jobs nearby, so they just leave. What do you mean real life comes first? That's not true. My stream should take priority over all of your bodily needs and functions. Oh, hey. It's drinking season. It's an eclipse. Speaking of, if jobs are too far away, then they just straight up won't go there. So I need to... whatever that task is, wherever that task is. Workstation. Dunk. Dunk, dunk, dunk. And the other thing I need to do is copy area. Get a janitor up in there. Might as well bring that too. You know what's wild? Or funny, I guess. Maybe not wild. Wild's the wrong word. You know what's funny? Is the do you guys not have phones thing. That game came out and made money. Nobody really cared. The eclipse is over. You know, the thing that the music in this game reminds me of the most is The Witcher. To me, it sounds like a Witcher fan album. You know, I love that my biggest complaint about my city functioning is, what do you mean I have to feed all 1,000 of these people? There is something truly hysterical about that, actually. There is something truly funny about that. Where's the nearest storage to this? It's down here. If I could actually just move you down one, just do that, up by one. Then if I have any, they'll just get moved over there. Pretty sure I don't have any at the moment. Okay, how big is my neighbor's army? Still 76, with a strength of 136. I've got whatever that is. I mean, actually, if I go to the overworld, what does that say? 97. They have question mark. Lovely. Probably will end up being a quest for tomorrow, but I like how I increase the amount of furniture people can take, because I'm just like, I'm gonna be nice to people, and then they like suddenly I just have like no furniture left. Because I also made a whole bunch of bedrooms all simultaneously, and a bunch of people moved in and they all claimed all the furniture, and now we have no furniture, and now I'm sad. It's crazy how that works. All right, well, let's just get more orcs in here to help with the problem, if you want to call it that. I'll be honest with you. I've played maybe 90 minutes of the Witcher games, Shady Necromancer, but I've listened to countless hours of the soundtrack. Because back when I did listen to other game soundtracks while streaming, The Witcher was one of the soundtracks I listened to a lot. So it's less of that for me and more just Unavailable metal. Well, there was metal right there. Okay, fuck it. I really should just, like, research makeshift weapons is what I should do. Okay, so I'm not currently importing this. I will, however... Fucking fuck. Do you think, like, chat, if you were right next door to people who you were extorting, and they suddenly asked you to, like, export weapons, would you be like, yeah? Because I feel like I'd be like, nah. It's like, hey, how about you sell us some of those spare spears you got out there? Business is business. I mean, true. You make a valid point with this. But, like, wouldn't you be, like, slightly sus? Especially if, like, you're actively extorting them. Which, they have extorted me on behalf of the bandits next door several times already. Alright, well, let's clear all this, clear all that, clear all this, clear all that. Okay, so I'm going to currently just load ore. Yeah, just ore. Coal as well. but I don't have any coal, so just ore. One spear. And it's like it's dulled, so it's just like a wall mount. Okay, we're letting in another 20. I could queue up another one of these. But I don't actually think that's all that wise. Well, I'll get to that eventually. Let's do a bakery. Let's see, can I do this, or are you going to be annoyed? Nope, I can do that. Can't remember if bakeries are one of the shops that aren't happy with you and ask for metal. They might be. Maybe it's the auxiliary that requires metal. Nope, okay. That must be an upgrade then. Could have sworn that they required metal. Okay. And let's go into here and then go door and door. So that's gonna be kind of a lot of materials, but that'll allow me to start using wood and all of that surplus of grain that I have just sitting here. Might actually work in these kind of games. What, just having one spear? It'll just like tip you over the edge to survive. It'll be enough. I mean, they did actually let me purchase spears. I have imported 20 spears. Speaking of 20 spear. Okay, you've equipped spearses. You've equipped spearses. And you've equipped spearses. Okay, so we do have 3 squads filled with spear. We have leather armor and shield. It's time to queue up another squad. That's kind of on purpose, Filthy Phil. But I could turn it up if you want me to. In regards to the game audio. What, if I get extorted? Just having like one... Oh yeah, true. I mean, like, if it's like... You just need to have a military, that might do it. I'm actually kind of curious as to what the output of that bread-wise is going to be. Do I don't have a market up here. Activate this job. This can also just take meat and bread. Because right now there's literally no work for these guys up here, and that's not done yet. It's getting worked on slowly, but it's not done yet. Oh shit, we're in an ad break. I'm sorry, thanks for sharing, Suited Giraffe. You drove 30 minutes to try to get a photo of the aurora and NOS cloud coverage. Should be slow until about 8 p.m. An hour now, completely overcast, and if I want to take photos of gray, I can take picture of my wall. So wait. You tried to go see auroras and busted real hard and got there and there was no auroras. Is that what you're saying? I'm trying to like comprehend that sentence, but I think I get it. Speaking of things I think I get, chat, for those of you who haven't been here all day or don't pay attention to the Discord or don't subscribe to my blog, if you are in Twitch chat and you type in !legends, or if you just go to your web browser and go to legends.blindirl.com, you'll see a nifty little linkery-do, or you'll see a nifty little thingy that I'm hosting now, which is very much not ready. It very much is beta. However, I'm just going to clear out this. The idea is we will be able to host and keep an updated Legends instance that you guys can witness and examine in real time. Let's get some lights. Just kind of realizing I didn't build torches anywhere, and they, I think, like torches. They might hate them. I don't know. I'm assuming they like torches. BlindIRL.net. Yeah, sorry. I also own .com. And I didn't want to potentially mess with my website, so bought a .net. Also, hear all that mining sound? Well, good, because it might as well not be happening. I don't have enough housing right now. Let's do that. And you. Four days worth of food. That's interesting. Today I learned that torches help with the law. I guess that makes sense. Actually didn't really know what torches did up until about 5 seconds ago, so. The more you know, the more you realize you didn't know. Let's also plunk another shrine up here. Holy shit. Well, turns out we've certainly come back stronger from the previous failures. And now they're mining. So I'm just gonna go until we have, I don't know, a good chunk of ore. I need to go to this and say, coal? That's coal revolution. Do I need to research coal mines? I don't think I do. No, I don't. Hey, so now I just need to build another mine. You know, because like, sort of already had one. Now I need a coal mine. I could also make a charcoaler. But a charcoaler would... I think this might be my favorite song in this soundtrack, by the way. Charcoaler would use up wood, which is a bit of a pain. Also need to make this space bigger. We are becoming coal mining orcs, purely because our neighbors are violent. We didn't want this. We could have been peaceful farmers, but instead, we must mine the coal So much for being peaceful farmers. We're now just peaceful coal farmers. I can't even say that with a straight face. Born to, you know, be orcs, I guess. I also love the vibe of this game when it hits. When it hits pretty hard. Experience gained. We now employ more than 50 in the ore mines. Mines or what is what I truly have to ask myself. Let's actually subtract this down to like 50 because I don't need like 60 people working over there. I do, however, need a bunch of people working over here. They do hate mining though. No cave adaptation is true, but like they don't like being underground. Like there's a lot of things they don't like. What could I do? They want a barber. Sorry, but like them wanting a barber is just really funny to me. Benches! I always fucking forget benches are a thing. But that's going to use up all the furniture for a bit, so. Uh-oh. Somebody starved to death? How? What? Are you... Okay, so, never mind. This is just Dwarf Fortress. This person got stuck back here and died. Just thought I'd... Just want to remind people that this is exactly the same as every other game I've ever played. I mean, I intentionally lowered the numbers of that. That's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. Okay, so you... you will take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and then... a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What am I currently importing? If I can find my import-export area. Okay, so currently we are importing spears, which I can stop doing, actually. Just gonna import bread, which is much cheaper. Still expensive, but it's cheaper. I can export clothing. And I can export... honestly, nothing. You rebuilt a room for your carpenters and then got stuck inside the room, and thankfully the only thing that at that time that happened... I mean, in my mind, this is just like a cave-in, right? And just nobody knew. Like, that Norda or whatever that person's name was just mysteriously disappeared. conscripts available in my realm. But what am I training then? Have your city troops join this army. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And this right here. So if I put city troops, I need to give them rations, yeah? Supplies are needed by certain conscripts and city troops. So if I stop importing stuff, I could actually just hire these guys to go do it for me. But they don't seem to have much in the way of strength. These guys, on the other hand, a lot more strength, but they're expensive. So I have no idea how strong this army is. I do know that they have 76 things. So I'm going to make a ration maker. I'm not going to let my people eat rations, but I'm going to make a ration maker. And then my hope is we can build up enough of a rational force that I could get rid of that army that's on my front doorstep. Which would be a crazy thing for me. Like, truly. Actually don't know if I can tell them to only make a certain amount. Have to look into this. Thunk. So in older versions of this game, if you'd like drag roads like this over top of an area that was being constructed actively, it would just cancel the entire area that was being constructed, and it makes me wince whenever I do it still. Like, it's been years since the game has done that, but I don't trust it. Ruined my trust once. Takes a long time to get it back. Okay, so I'm going to stop importing anything. Isn't it the orcs that like rations? We are orcs, sir. But I think you need to send rations specifically with armies if they leave your city. And because I want to go get rid of that army, then I have to send my people out of the city with rations. Unless I'm completely missing a step, but if I'm missing a step and you know better, please tell. I will listen. Otherwise, that is the assumption that I'm working with. Music never truly misses. Well, there's not that many songs, so it's hard for it to miss. Let's just do a real quick hunt. Running a little low on food. It's way too easy to move around this game way too fast. Probably makes it hard to follow, so I'm sorry. So chat, what are you guys playing today? It's been kind of all over the place recently. There's been very little consistency with the games that people are playing. Usually, like, people in my chat will be pretty clear. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is the sort of thing that the chat's into right now. There, for a minute there, it was Hightail, but it's been a while since the overwhelming response has been Dwarf Fortress as well. Ellen, how is that game doing? I know that game's like just actively being developed, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's see how much money I can make just exporting stuff. It's like I could bring another 53 people, but yeah, fuck it, we can do it. There's one deranged person, and one person died of a wrongful death. They died to getting mauled to death by some random wild beast. Oh no. Whatever will I do? Where's healthcare? Don't have the knowledge for it. I just need more labs, which I've been putting off. Although, is there a research that makes research faster when it researches? Ah. Requires a lot of knowledge. Game about feeding a black hole, which is completely unrelated to the game about digging a hole. That is going to use up the rest of my militia, so smithy is what I need. Which needs smithy. Which needs 10 innovation. Alright, it's time to make more lavatories. Which isn't to be confused with lavatories. Those are very different things, regardless of how similar they might sound. It's for the people with the big head noodles. Has it improved? I don't know. I also haven't played it a lot in the last few months. I've been told by a few people that combat is more not bad now, but I have yet to see enough to believe. It still seems like that vibey chill space. I guess I would say it depends on like what you're asking, what part of it you're needing to improve. Because I don't know. I would say, actually. Mostly right now, we're just waiting on this. Thinking about trying Elder Scrolls Online. I used to know a few people who streamed a ton of Elder Scrolls Online, and I'll be honest with you, it completely perplexed me. Like, I don't get it. Not my thing. But I don't know. It's one of those MMOs where I've never really heard anything directly bad about it. I know that's maybe not, like, the best, most glowing endorsement, but... That's such a fucking big diamond mine, though. Holy shit. Okay, so I'm minus 30 on the housing. Although, Let's just dig through that so nobody gets stuck again. Mostly soloed it. It's very different from the normal ones. I feel like soloing in that game is not very uncommon. I don't know. Maybe chat can probably tell me I'm very wrong and don't know what I'm talking about, and I probably don't. And I'm also most likely very long and also very much don't know what I'm talking about. But I feel like Elder Scrolls Online is much more in the vein of like the Final Fantasy MMO, FF14, in like what it allows the player to do in a single player capacity. Like single player is not only a viable option, but like a popular playstyle. Unlike a kind of, I guess, your more traditional hardcore MMO. Have I ever played CDDA? Yeah, I find it very, very tedious and slow. I'm not a big fan of open world survival crafter games, which is the reason I kind of just go, yeah, maybe one day. Whenever people suggest Project Zomboid to me, because I really don't like that style of game. Like it's not my thing at all. I would actually say that I'm kind of anti them. If like you make me go collect resources and bring them back to a place to then build a thing, unless it's like one of the very rare instances where I'm interested in like, okay, I need to bring in, just cut this down to like there. Unless it's one of the rare instances where I'm actually interested in like an extraction shooter, which is very rare for me. Odds are pretty good it's not going to be for me. Okay, let's grab the smithy. Farming tools. This is going to be loud, so I don't want it close to where people are sleeping. And I could cram it up here. Which in some ways is kind of fitting, actually. I'm a wee bit offended by the fact that I have to make sure that there is a roof in an underground building. It's truly just a little bit, ever so slightly offensive to me. Just gonna throw a door right there. An auxiliary workbench. I'm gonna need to import some metal, aren't I? Thankfully, metal's cheap. Well, actually, no, I don't. I've got 15 metal bars left over. Hells yeah. But like the cave that was standing up on its own before I put the stuff in there, you know? It's like, yeah, the support needed for the cave. Yeah, the cave that was like already there, that I'm just like occupying now. I can also swap this bakery, which I actually have no grain. I can swap the bakery out for using coal, but I'm out of grain again. And you... Let's just make rations out of meat. Meat and herbs? Beg your pardon? That's annoying. Green farm. Square. It's 81% moisture. While they can work on this, I can irrigate this later down the line if I need. 75 will do. Also, I feel like if I were to get into an MMO in the current year, just because chat was talking about Elder Scrolls a little bit, I feel like if I were to get into an MMO, it would probably be Guild Wars 1. Because that was the last... God, I feel old all of a sudden, even though I'm really not. New MMO that I played. And I think that might actually be the last MMO I had fun with. I played a couple other MMOs, or rather, the last new MMO that I played that I enjoyed. Because, like, I played Rift, fucking hated it, thought it was awful. I played Runes of Magic, and I knew it was awful. I didn't just think it was awful. I played... I'm trying to think of other dumb fucking MMOs that I played. I played some Korean hack and slash MMO that looked kind of like a knockoff shitty Diablo. Never played Ragnarok online. I did play RuneScape. I talked about Kenshi twice already today, so I'll give you the very short version. What Dang Feng? I think it's very slow and grindy, and I don't like looking at it, so I generally don't play it. I think there's games that fill that niche if I want to play a game that feels like that, that doesn't require me looking at Kenshi. I will take a look at Kenshi 2 when that releases. Asheron's Call, never played that. I played Terra Online. I was a fat hamster with a massive broadsword. Although I didn't play that game for very long. I played it when it went free to play because I had a friend who wanted to play it, and I thought it was kind of shit. And he's like, this game's pretty good. And I'm like, no, it's not. What's wrong with you? I think Terra... Actually, no. The last MMO, if you want to call it that, that I played was APB. APB was the last MMO that I played. I also just realized how badly I screwed this up, so I'm going to get rid of all these. And all of that. APB was dog shit. That game was so bad. I had some fun with APB, though. APB was not good, but, like... Can I put a tree underground? Holy shit, I can put trees underground? Why does that work? What? I've streamed Tome. I've never streamed Angband. Angband's a bit far back for me. I like old school roguelikes. They're very, very difficult to stream, so I don't stream them as much as I would like. If people tuned in to roguelikes as much as they tuned into City Builders, I would play them probably about as often as I play City Builders, which means once every 6 months. Yeah, I really like old school roguelikes, but that is maybe the hardest, one of the hardest, if not the hardest, type of game to make content out of. Truly. Wait. Oh, I see. Metal smelter is what I needed to make, not a smithy. Hold on. Let's just remove all of you. That's what I needed to make. I feel slightly stupid, but it's okay. Let's just do that. You're in ads? I must be looking too far up in chat. Let's get some furnaces up in here. Actually really like building underground like this. Maybe it's the dwarf fortress in me, but well, it's not that I find them hard to stream. I actually quite like streaming them, Alfie. It's hard to convince people to tune in. Numbers are terrible. And I know that it's easy to just kind of point and go, capitalism or whatever, but like at the end of the day, I've got a mortgage to pay and this is my job. So it really hurts me to say it, to be honest. Because old school roguelikes are one of my favorite types of games. I will recommend people play Brogue until the day I die. But yeah, I don't know. I don't find them hard to stream. People just don't tune into them. It's the same reason that I don't stream Dwarf Fortress and ASCII. It's not because I don't like ASCII. It's because I know that a much smaller portion of the normal audience would tune in. So what is the point in handicapping the audience I could potentially have? That's actually kind of funny because I was talking with a game developer a little while ago who was trying to convince me to play their game, and I did, admittedly. And the kind of funny thing was, while they were trying to convince me to play their game, they were also bragging on a game developer subreddit that they only needed to sell 300,000 copies of the game to break even or something. They were like, oh yeah, we can do that easily. And it's just you're making a traditional roguelike. There is no world where that is going to sell more than 10,000 copies. That the audience just unfortunately isn't there. Caves of Cud? I like Caves of Cud, but I don't stream Caves of Cud that often because Caves of Cud has actually very similar problems. I spend more time explaining the bare basics of what I'm doing. The problem with those games is the people who like them tune in. But those are the power players, and I'm not a power player because I don't have the time to play them, because the types of games that I'm a power player on is city builders, colony builders, things like Dwarf Fortress and this sort of thing. This is the kind of game that I can pick up and play very easily, so it takes me a little bit to learn what I'm doing when I pick up a game like Cud for the first time in a long time, right? And then it's extremely hard to initiate somebody into a game like that if they've never seen one before or played it before. So power players get frustrated watching my stream because I'm not a power player. And newbies get frustrated when watching my stream because they don't know what the fuck's happening. So it's I can stream them, and I do sometimes, but it's never the most pleasant experience for me because I don't only stream them. It's the same reason that it's hard to convince people to stream Dwarf Fortress, because they think their audience won't like it, and then they go into it with that negative attitude, and then one thing leads to another, and then nobody has fun. Whereas if I sit down and play Cogmind, I would probably have a decent audience for a day, but then I would get frustrated because the power players would just be like, why aren't you doing this extremely micromanaged thing? Because I have 2,000 hours in this game and I know exactly how to do everything. And then I go, well, now I feel overwhelmed and inadequate. And then it becomes harder and harder as I start getting into the game to explain what I'm doing, because I'm just re-explaining the very bare-bone basics, and in some cases badly, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's a very hard genre of game to explain to people. Like, if you tune into late game CUD, you're gonna have no fucking idea what's going on. But at the very least, like, the games that I'm used to playing, most of my audience plays already, so they have an idea. So I don't have to, like, explain. Like, when I'm digging too deeply and greedily, it's not very often that I need to, like, explain what the heck I'm doing going down into hell, because most of chat already knows, right? But, like, if I'm in that, whatever that purple area is in Caves of Cud, I don't fucking know what I'm doing or what I'm looking at half the time. I've never played Guild of Dungeoneering, so couldn't tell you. Dag it. Sure. I watched a lot of the developer of Cogmind playing Cogmind. Is this game good yet? I think it's good. I don't know. I don't dislike this game. I've got problems with it. I wouldn't say it's in maintenance hell, though. YouTube chat. Sounds like we are in a pretty different opinion space. Unless you think that the combat in this game sucks, in which case then we can agree. But I don't think this game is bad, so nor do I think it's in maintenance hell. I think it's just quietly developing. I am very perplexed by the fact that they let me build trees underground, though. All right, you're making metal, and now I can make tools. What else can I make? Make swords. Or metal warhammers. Let's make metal warhammers. You know, just about every time I turn my stream on for a day, we have an obituary to Dungeon Keeper. And it's like, if you miss Dungeon Keeper so bad, play one of the open source projects that resurrected. Play one of the inspired by alternatives. Or go buy the IP rights, because I'm sure they'll be cheap soon. And that's only, like, partially a joke. I'm sure they'll actually be cheap soon. Okay, so you down here. Let's see what we've got. Got one person starving because you're stuck behind a wall, of course. I don't know how you ended up over there, but 2 people trapped. Right. Eddie Inky Weedle. What a name. I like parts of the UI. I think parts of it are pretty bad. I think, like, this screen's pretty great. I think this is one of the worst tech trees I've ever had the, like, misfortune of unexperiencing, because every time I forget about this game, and then 6 months later I remember that it exists, my brain has a minor aneurysm having to remind myself how to actually use this thing. And I'm not a fan, in case it wasn't obvious. I should wait a little bit. because that's what I want. Although that's innovation, not knowledge. Probably sell coal, actually. It's a lot of relearning. Certainly, I mean, that's like one of the impressive aspects of this game, though. Is that every time I come back to it after 6 months break or whatever, it's like learning a new game. Which I guess, like, on one hand is maybe frustrating, but it's also, like, kind of incredible. The part where, like, for me it gets frustrating and where I don't enjoy that portion of it is when I don't like the changes that were made, which has happened a couple of times. I'm also going to plop another fruit orchard up there. So I've got 2 there. I can do maybe 2 more up here. If I do like 1 of those per year, that'll help. That'll help me keep up. Also, we've got 1,000 orc. Oh, if you mean like literal maintenance, I thought you meant like maintenance as in like development maintenance. Yeah, I've never really run into, well, at least not the last few times I've played, have I run into issues with maintenance just taking up everything and scaling poorly. Unless like I completely misbuilt the city, which I could see that happening, but I don't think I've ever really had an issue with that, YouTube chat. Forage is never a word I think of. It's like, I know that's the word it's looking for, but like, I do quite literally never think of that word. Zoom. So this is going to take 64 days. We're heading into summer, or no, spring, rather. Getting close to summer. Okay, so I've saved up 20 grand. Yeah, sure, but I don't think that you are the majority, right? Dark Cloud. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it never feels good talking about games the way I currently am, which is the, like, why I choose to play what game and why I will play this game before I'll play that game, etc. Like, it's a frustrating thing, and it never makes anybody feel good or feel happy. Certainly doesn't make me feel good. I just feel like I'm bashing things that I like, because these are all games that I like. But, like, at the end of the day, I love this job. But it is just that, right? It is still a job. And I'd be, you know, mocking myself if I was saying it was anything different. And I do need to do this responsibly and in a way where I can pay my bills. And I have a lot less confidence in the traditional roguelike scene than I would in the, you know, the city builder scene. That's not going to stop me from, like, doesn't mean I'm never going to play one again. Like, I will 100% stream Caves of Cod again. I will absolutely played Jupiter Hell Classic again. I will play those games again. But it's not the focus, and it's not the focus for a reason. Just gonna plunk a bathroom back in there. It'll take them a little bit to build it, but... And we're out of food. Because I spent a whole bunch of food on that new orchard. So now we just gotta wait. I do have 3 deranged people. Nobody's starving, though. I think I'll just slow down time real quick. Grab a hunt task. No, this is when I start streaming Mario Maker 1, because that's still relevant, right? You know, I never really got super heavily into Mario Maker. It was one of the games I owned for the Wii U. Can I just say that, like, I feel bad for people who really liked Mario Maker because of how much Nintendo just fucking abandoned that thing? Like, it baffles me. It is, like, a crime. Like, Nintendo should be, like... I don't know. Don't want to be too dramatic, but... It's like, I don't know. That game deserved a better fate. Should have gotten more than a patch, you know? It deserved better. An accident occurred, and it was probably significantly less bad than it would have been. Because I did upgrade some work safety. Not much, but some. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, I can unlock Skull. I can also unlock a hospital. Holy fucking sirens. Something's going down. It's not me, though. Really? And you were really excited about the Switch, too. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things in the games industry right now that is staggering. And I think that's for a lot of different reasons. You know, it's for, like irresponsibly increasing costs. Like, some of that is the fault of the games industry, but a lot of it isn't. You know, because of gouging in a lot of parts of the games industry, I think that, like, just a lot of people falling out of interest in buying traditional games is not helping. I think that my generation is partially to blame for this, and maybe you'll agree with this, chat, maybe you won't, but I am of the opinion, I don't have kids, so I can't really say for certain, but I'm of the opinion that when I was a little kid, I asked for a console for Christmas and got a console for Christmas. These days, I don't really hear about kids getting consoles for Christmas. I hear about parents buying themselves consoles for Christmas. I need to make tools. And kids get V-Bucks. So I think that's helping. But it really feels like we are falling into a period of, like, games turning into something for a very different audience. Like, I mean, how many households out there with kids? You can be in chat or not, doesn't matter. Do you know of whose kid asked for not a console, but, you know, Roblox? Because I do honestly think that, like, that is the market now. This looks like it's degraded, but it's not. It's just the material it's full of. I need tools. Where are tools? Tools. There they are. massively turn down the amount of workers on this, and massively turn down the amount of workers on this. We are also almost out of food again. Good news is I got 24,000 doll hairs, so I'm just going to import a bunch of bread. Nobody your age has kids. Yeah, I know that, like, people my age don't have kids. I'm in the same boat as you. I mean, I don't have kids, and I'm 31. But, like, I'm talking for the families that do have kids. How you doing, Norm? Or no name, not Norm. What? Play more on their PC than consoles, or like a phone, right? And they're probably not, you know, buying Nintendo games. So like I know this is like kind of a bummer, but I'm not surprised that the Switch 2 is just whelming. I'm kind of not surprised. It's harvest season. Goes. This I can actually get rid of. Just like that, food goes back up, loyalty goes back up. Actually, I wonder. Yeah, I'm gonna elevate somebody to the position of noble. Because that'll help. Can I elevate? There we go. That'll help. Built that hospital like a minute ago and I can't remember where I put it. There it is. It's over here. Okay. Tools are coming over pretty quick. Well, I mean, it has Thing of Nothing. They're just all PC games, right? Like, they're just not exclusives. Like, I would actually say that the Switch 2 has had a very similar launch to the Switch 1. It took a while for the Switch 1 to actually have decent games on it. But it was such a novel device that a lot of people bought it. It's no longer really a novelty, right? And combine that with it, you know, having a pretty Nintendo-style launch, which is whelming at best. I don't know. It's about as much as I expected, I guess. I mean, at the very least, like, you know, right now the Switch 2 is more or less just the remastered Mario game console, like Suited is sort of saying. Kid wanted a tablet and got it from grandma. I don't know, man. I think if I was a parent, I would be either extraordinarily overprotective or, like, the worst parent of all time. Because, like, I have so much trouble letting myself on social media these days. And, like, letting myself within, like, the tech spheres currently. I don't think that I would ever be okay with a lot of that. Like, the current state of, you know, just tablets. Like, I won't buy a tablet for myself because I don't think that's, like, a safe investment for me, personally. Is there a new update or something? I don't know. Is there a lot of streamers that play this, Cornetto? I play this game maybe once a year. And it had been about a year. I don't know. It's kind of something I play whenever there's been like half dozen updates. Or like 3 big ones. Switch 1 had Breath of the Wild. Was Breath of the Wild day and date with Switch 1 though? And also, I guess like, for comparison's sake here, Breath of the Wild was a Wii U game. Just nobody owned a Wii U. The difference is everybody owns a Switch, right? And it's like, everybody already owns a Switch. And like the only example of like a game that you need a Switch for is a Mario Kart game that nobody wants. Well, not as many people want. And a very mixed response Metroid game. Sure, think of nothing. And then like, you know, they moved the... They ported the really good Mario Kart game from the Wii U to the Switch, and then everybody was like, oh, new Mario Kart game, because they hadn't played the old one. Because they hadn't played it yet. Like, I didn't buy a Switch when the Switch released. One, because I was broke. Like, I was working full-time nights, and my ex couldn't keep a job, so, like, I was fucking broke. And the Switch released, and I owned a Wii U. So, like, why in the world would I ever buy a Switch when the Switch released? Because I already owned... Opiate Farm, what do I need for that? Why would I ever buy a Switch when I already owned a platform that played all of the games that I wanted for that platform? Like, I literally already owned a Wii U, and the Wii U, you know, at least when the Switch 1 launched, played most of those launch titles. But nobody owned a Wii U, so I was like the one weirdo in that discussion. Except now everybody's in that position. And besides, they never put the best Legend of Zelda on the Switch, I don't think. The updated Wind Waker. Also, I think we're about to get hit by ads, unless they just ended and I misread it, in which case then I feel kind of dumb. You know, the only way to truly feel completely immersed in this game is to have a dog in the room with you farting. And you'd have smell-o-vision. I think that's with the gameplay emulation thing, but you don't think? What? Wind Waker? No, Wind Waker HD was not an emulated. That was a Wii U exclusive. That they didn't release a mini N64. I mean, whatchamacallit? The pandemic ended. People went outside. People stopped buying those devices. A few of those devices have, like, okay, the pandemic didn't end, but, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, people went outside again. So they were selling those devices because, well, initially we were in the pre-pandemic boom and everything was really cheap. And then the pandemic happened and they continued selling those for a little bit. And then as soon as we hit, like, constrained with hardware costs, it's like, well, it's not cost effective anymore. Like, if they were to release one of those devices now, it would be, like, not worth the price. Like, if you want, just get an analog 3D if you want, like, a fancy device to play N64 games. Or just buy a modded N64. Or, like, get a Mister. Like, I am of the opinion, and I realize that like a tiny N64 would be cute. If you want that, depending on Nintendo to do it and to do it right is the wrong decision. Yeah, that's fair. You got to get the Intelligent Vision one. Okay, I mean, we all have silly collections. I collect houseplants. But like, why? Would you willingly subject yourself to an Intellivision? I understand that there are some people out there who are misguided, unfortunately, and have a deranged sense of nostalgia for that terrible platform. But why? There's better wastes of your time, man. Some will even give you half-decent, okay games out of it. Because of Utopia? Okay. I can play that on an emulator in like 90 seconds. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can truck with that need that you have. Actually, not going to import that bread. I changed my mind. I'm just going to keep saving money and then just hire a bunch of mercenaries to go murk those guys for me. I think that's what I'm going to do. You have none? Terrible video games to play? Disagree. Emulator? I'm sure you could find one. But I don't know. There's worse people that you could give your money to than like the current iteration of Atari, who's the people who currently own the Intellivision name. So I guess in that sense, I respect it to a point. Might as well just shut this thing down because there isn't enough capacity there. I actually have a grain farm now, which is kind of nice. So that'll make 34 in a year. And that eats 35 in a day. Great. Let's just go to you. No access to rations. Those numbers will slowly go up. Keyword there is slowly. The best bet for an emulation suite right now? I actually kind of disagree with that. Just because, like, I don't know where you live or how much you make, but a Steam Deck ain't cheap. And they actually sort of artificially just raised the price of the Steam Deck because they just discontinued the cheap one. If I wanted to get a emulation box at this point, I'd probably buy me one of these. Probably buy me one of these. Just because, like, shush. You know, you want something that's, like, definitely not the Steam Deck. Like, this is, like, if I was looking for, like, a retro game emulation box, I would get something like this. Because it's, like, one, if I'm going to emulate stuff anyway, I'm probably going to want something in this form factor. Or, like, even better, actually, like this form factor. So, although, actually, if you live in the US, it might be, like, murder trying to import one of these right now. I don't actually know. I mean, yeah, you need to supply your own SD card, but, like, whoop-de. Whoop-de freaking do. So I don't know. That's just me, but that's the route I would go if I were to build an emulation box right now. Retroid Pocket's way better. Ambernick's cheaper though, and none of those devices are great quality. But yeah, there are better devices out there, but that's probably the route I would go. That is presuming that you have an old Android phone sitting around, but yes. Yeah, I don't know. We have so many options to emulate, unless like specifically what you want is the official brand name. Like, there's no reason to buy a third-party emulation box or like a mini console. At that point, it's like, you know, it's like buying an action figure, right? You're buying it because you want the product. You're not buying it because like it's a logical purchase, I guess. That actually sounds way harsher than I mean it to be, but I can now go down to you. What are you running into? Room is poorly insulated. Are you fucking with me? I need to stop copying the broken one. Which I keep doing, apparently. Can I no longer just, like, assign tools? Oh, there's the button to assign tools. I'm confused by that now. Is that not something I can do? I'm making this up. Do I need to unlock this? Bizarre. Might be a technology or something I need to unlock. Okay, so that farming tools will allow me to put tools in farms. Crude crafting tools will let me use tools in car. Okay, I see. I should have guessed. And that'll use up all my tools pretty quickly. There was like a noticeable hitch there. Tools degrade, but it'll give me a work speed bonus. Did I ever successfully make that opiate farm? No, I didn't. I guess we'll have to wait a little longer for that. Consumed this year, consumed last year. How much metal do I have? I still have metal. That's fine. Should be fine. How about you? Properties. Remember giving them a day off made them really fucking happy. We'll never quite forget that. Need to do. Did I not unlock restaurants? No, I didn't. Well, chat, I've been live for 9 hours, and we are hitting that point in the day where it's like, oh no, I could like just kind of keep doing, oh, here's another level of tech that I could do, or here's another level of this, and here's another level of that. I think this has been a much better start than the last one that we did like a week ago. We have 1,040 work and we have food, and in several years, I will have a larger supply of food. Obviously, we still need more food. There is if I go to the overworld, there's an army right there that I want to get rid of. But I might actually be getting close to having enough of an army to take that out. I'm just not entirely sure how to do that. So that's something I need to figure out. But I do think that we've made some progress. You guys enjoying this? A little bit of Songs of Six this week. A little bit different than what we've been up to. I think it's time for us to wind down for the day. I mean, we played 2 games today. That's like 100% more games than I normally play in a stream. We started off with Earth of Oryx, beginning of the day, and then swapped over to this. I really want to play some Manor Lords. I don't know if I'll get to that this week. This is going to be a short week. I won't be streaming Friday, because Thursday I'm going to go see Bad Religion. So I've got a friend who's going to come over and crash for the night, and then we're going to go see The Offspring and Bad Religion, and I can't fucking wait. I'm so excited. I haven't seen Bad Religion since 2019. I saw The Offspring a couple years ago, but it's like 2024? 3? 4? I want to say 2024, but it might have been 2023. But we'll be playing this tomorrow, I think. Zoom Zang, we're just winding down for the night. But thanks for swinging by. So, I'm going to quick save and quit to the main menu. And I think we will pick this